Coming up, what do you get when a big-time YouTuber and an action sports star walk into a dirt track? We'll talk about it, plus an update on Wyatt Miller's dirt late model future and a lot more. Let's go. It's Tuesday, March 11th. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is DIRTRACKR Daily presented by Kubota Genuine Parts. A quick request from me off the top today. No matter where you are watching or listening to the show right now, please consider hitting that subscribe or follow button. Both are free to do, no matter whether you are on YouTube or Facebook or a podcast platform. That's a sign of the platforms that they should keep sharing these episodes to new folks, and it will make sure you stay up to date on all things dirt racing. My goal for the year is 50,000 on both YouTube and Facebook, and we are getting closer, sitting at over 41,000 on YouTube and right near 31,000 on Facebook. Whether you subscribe or not, though, thanks for stopping by and hanging out for a few minutes. All right, let's dive into the show. Later this week, when the Kubota High Limit Sprint Cars make their 2025 debut at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway dirt track, we already know there's going to be plenty of star power in the field. Kyle Larson is expected to race both nights. We know Christopher Bell is back in Don Kreitz's 69K for at least one of the programs. We don't know who's going to race the other one. Remember, these races are Thursday and Saturday, so that split in between Friday is off. So they're going to race Thursday, they're going to be off Friday, they're going to race again Saturday. And then Bell, he won a World of Outlaws show in the 69K during DIRTRACKR Nationals, and he's now won 3 NASCAR Cup races in a row. Rumblings also point to Ty Gibbs making his big-time sprint car debut. He could be in a wing car for Chad Bode, and they were spotted testing last week here near Charlotte. But earlier this week, I got a message that another team potentially had some shenanigans afoot, and that they were bringing a second sprint car to Las Vegas. And that team is the Ridge & Sons Racing operation. This group fielded 2 cars a season ago, one full-time out with High Limit and one that ran pick and choose. The drivers for those cars were obviously Corey Eliason and Aaron Reitzel. Eliason full-time with High Limit. Reitzel pick and choose around the Midwest and raced a lot at Knoxville and places like that. Eliason has since moved on to the TKS team. He's going to run pick and choose this year. And then Reitzel is sliding over to High Limit for the full pole. Last night, RSR put out a teaser post on social media showing a blacked out sprint car with the number 199 on the wing side panel. Obviously, that number, it means something here. And the obvious guess, given the number, is action sports star Travis Pastrana. And he'd be a solid guess as we've seen him race on dirt before, and he's crazy enough to get in the seat of a 410 sprint car. And if you're watching this show, you might notice the number 199 on the side of this modified. Pastrana raced a UMP modified at DIRTRACKR Nationals a few years ago, and he's made a bunch of NASCAR starts. That includes in the Xfinity Series, a Truck Series, even a Cup Series appearance. The other name that I was told that could be involved here as well is YouTuber Cleetus McFarland. Cleetus, whose actual name is Garrett Mitchell, made his ARCA debut at Daytona last month, and he's garnered nearly 2 billion YouTube views documenting all of his automotive and motorsports adventures. His videos usually get anywhere from 1.5 million to 2+ million views. He bought DeSoto Speedway in Bradenton, Florida a few years ago. That is a paved racetrack, and it's the home to his operation, which he now calls the Freedom Factory. And Mitchell got a bunch of attention along with retired Cup driver Greg Biffle for their work flying their helicopters around western North Carolina in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, delivering supplies and equipment to stranded residents there. Digging in a bit yesterday trying to get some confirmation, I was told that Pastrana is involved, but he will not be racing. The biggest clues, though, of what's coming is actually from RSR's post itself. Whoever created this graphic left us too much detail in the car itself, and with twisting some knobs in Photoshop, we can pretty easily see what's on it. The car, sponsored by Power Plus, you can see RSR down the side here and some of the typical RSR sponsors, Blackbeard on the nose wing. Power Plus, that's a company that provides temporary power and rentals. They've backed Nitro Rallycross in the past and Pastrana. And then the wing cap on the car, it doesn't have a name, but it does read, quote, "Hell yeah, brother," which is the sort of catchphrase, if you will, for Cleetus McFarland. It's unclear to me whether Cleetus is actually going to participate in the high limit racing or if this is just an opportunity to get him in a car, get some attention, create some content. Outside of some hobby stock races at the Bristol Dirt Nationals a few years ago, and I believe he also jumped in one of the Hunt the Front late models, he really doesn't have much in the way of dirt racing experience. It's possible he's already tested a sprint car, but I don't know if that would be enough to satisfy High Limits competition director Mike Hess, who would need to actually sign off on Cleetus racing and participating. Las Vegas, it's a big, fast racetrack, and it might not be the best place to try and figure out a 410 sprint car for the first time. Kudos, though, to whoever is involved here in trying to bring some other eyes to this event. Pastrana and Cleetus both have big followings, and it's always good to try and find new ways to grow the dirt racing audience. We will have more on the High Limit Opener, too, as the week progresses. Some quick sprint cars at Las Vegas stats for you before we move on. I was curious, so I went and looked in the analytics section today. The last time a big-time National Touring Sprint Car Series was at the Vegas Dirt Track was 2019. It was obviously then part of the World of Outlaws schedule. They used to go to Florida at the start of the year, hit Vegas on the way to the first West Coast swing. Donnie Schatz has won 4 of the last 6 races there, with Tim Schaefer and Sheldon Haudenschild the other winners going back to 2017. Schatz's average finish over that 6-race span was an incredible 1.5. Obviously, when you win 4 of those races, that's going to be pretty easy to do. The next 2 highest drivers on that average finish list are Kyle Larson, who was 6th and 5th there in 2019, and Brad Sweet. We'll see if the High Limit owners might have the leg up on the rest of the field later this week. You can find more stats like this over at DIRTRACKR.com/analytics. Jumping back to a story we talked about several days ago, I wanted to update the Wyatt Miller dirt late model situation. If you don't know, the 13-year-old driver is the son of Kelly Earnhardt Miller and L.W. Miller. He's obviously now because of that, knowing that he's the nephew of Dale Earnhardt Jr., and he's Dale Earnhardt's grandson. Wyatt is a regular in micro sprint competition at Millbridge Speedway, and he tested a Longhorn-affiliated dirt late model not long ago. The 604 car that he drove is out of the Whittier Motorsports shop. It ran laps with Miller in the seat at Ultimate Motorsports Park, which is obviously here in North Carolina. And as expected, the pairing will race together soon. Flow Racing's Rob Blount spoke to Miller, and he revealed he's going to race the car at Natural Bridge Speedway in Virginia on April 26th. That appears to be a regular weekly show at the track. I didn't see any series tied to that event. Natural Bridge is a 3/8 located about 45 minutes north and east of Roanoke, Virginia. That Whittier team serves as the Longhorn factory team, basically for crate competition. Obviously, we know Riggs Motorsports, Brandon Overton, they're the Longhorn factory team for super late model competition, but this Whittier team kind of serving that same purpose for the crate guys. Apparently, this whole deal for Miller to get in the car was set up through Longhorn's Steve Arpin. Miller made his pavement late model debut this past weekend at Hickory Motor Speedway, where he finished 2nd in a limited late model feature. That car was fielded by Junior Motorsports. And if you're unaware of the connection here, Steve Arpin actually ran some Xfinity races years ago for Junior Motorsports, so he knows the Earnhardt family. Miller himself has a Golden Driller from the Tulsa Shootout in 2024 and also races off-road trucks. If you want to check out Millbridge, where Miller has raced a lot, their season is off and rolling already. They are live each Tuesday and Wednesday night on Dirt Vision. Plenty of future stars compete there each week, and you usually have some NASCAR guys racing as well. All right, that's your show for today. You do have some streaming options this week, like the aforementioned Millbridge racing, so don't forget to stop by DIRTRACKR.com/watch tonight to see the full daily streaming schedule, all the important details, plus links to watch everything. Hope you guys have a great Tuesday out there. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.